Let's kick off our opening drive. Brought to you by Chevy. This is our first down.
I know that the mayor has no plan. He has come up with no plan at all about how the Bears would end up in the city of Chicago. So that's problematic. I'd love them to be in the city, but we're 3 years in now and he still has no plan. So the Bears have said publicly, and I think they said so last Friday again, that they have now only two options, and that's the state of Indiana or Arlington Heights. We would like them to stay in the state of Illinois, and so I'm fighting hard to make sure that they can do that.
That's the latest from Governor Pritzker. He spoke this morning at the Chicago Cares 35th anniversary leadership breakfast. Guys, it has been reported that the Bears are going to update the other 31 teams in the league about the stadium pursuit tomorrow, their quarterly meetings, the owners' meetings in Orlando. What do you imagine the Bears will be saying? I think Governor Pritzker is telling us that they're not going to be in Chicago.
Did he say no plan? Because I didn't know if he was clear enough in saying that there was no plan. But there's no plan. Football terms, this has been the Matt Eberflus approach to the stadium project in the city of Chicago. They have blown it like the last 2 minutes against the Lions on Thanksgiving Day in 2025. That's how bad this has been. And so there are two alternatives. Arlington Heights and Hammond, just the way it always has been. There's 2 weeks until the session is over. I think what the Bears will present tomorrow is that this is where they are, this is how close things appear, and now they have to just close the deal. There are amendments to be made, there's politics going on behind the scene, deals are being struck, but this is all still very confidently pointing toward Arlington Heights.
Yeah, I think they're going to tell them that they're closer to the goal line with Arlington Heights. They're not across yet, but they're getting there. They need tax certainty. They need infrastructure help. But if that can't happen, Hammond's sitting there waiting with a shovel and a smile, saying, here we are, guys. We're ready to put the shovel in the ground. So they got good options here, and I think that's what they're going to get across to the other owners.
Well, because Hammond is sitting there with a shovel and a smile, as Clay so eloquently put, does it tell you the fact that because they're still holding out from going to Hammond, that Arlington Heights is closer than maybe the Bears want people to
Obviously. I mean, I think there's still that's being used as leverage, and even though they don't want to look at it in those terms, that's what's going on. There's not a real the real chance exists because there's still some deals to be struck, and you don't have a closing of the deal yet, but it's getting closer. You talk to people involved, and there's still that confidence. I think what was a distraction, that's all that it was Mayor Johnson going to Springfield last week and trying to wave the flag for Chicago, which never was a realistic option. As the governor said, there never has been a plan.
Meanwhile, Nashville on the way to their new stadium, and looks like they're going to be hosting a Super Bowl in 2030. The Bears seemingly missing out on some opportunities here as they take their sweet time on their own stadium project. Let's go to our second down of this opening drive. We'll check in with our friend Colin Cowherd.
Number 3, Caleb Williams. Do you know what his numbers are the first 2 years? 47 touchdowns, 13 picks, never hurt. Never hurt in high school, never hurt in college, never hurt in the pros. Got hit more than any quarterback in the league rookie year. Not missing a snap. Unbelievably durable. Makes throws that only Josh Allen can make. He's number 3.
All right, so take a look at this list. Colin Cowherd has his top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Now, let me explain to you what the criteria is for this list. He said it's based on production, durability, and career momentum. Yes, your eyes are seeing correctly. Caleb Williams is right there at number 3. Your reaction?
I love this analysis because it projects. It also rewards what I think is valuable in the NFL. And you know the biggest ability, availability. And this recognizes Caleb Williams for being durable and showing up every game, whether it's Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday. He will be there, and I think that's the expectation. Also, it reflects the confidence that he built up, and I think the respect he gained from being a comeback king last year with all those set fourth quarter comebacks. I think this is all also maybe a little bit, it's reflective of what's going on in Chicago with the Bears and Ben Johnson. Because Ben Johnson is here, Caleb Williams will be better. And together, he can be a top 5 quarterback.
Absolutely. I think he has top 3 talent, but he doesn't have a top 3 resume yet. The guys he's up there with are Hall of Famers. We've seen the flashes. He's with Ben Johnson. He's got a young core group of guys, Luther Burden, Rome Odunze, Colson Loveland, good offensive line in front of him. but I think you pump the brakes a little bit at putting him at number 3 just because we need to see him be more consistent. He needs to be more efficient. He needs to have a better completion percentage. He needs to bat the singles and the doubles like the White Sox did against the Cubs this week to get the W. I think when we see him move up with the efficiency, you need to see a little more before you put him in the top 3. Sky's the limit. Can he get there? Absolutely. I think it's a little bit early, but I think he can get there.
Fair enough, but this isn't like batting average, and you're evaluating exactly where he is in terms of the other quarterbacks. The term momentum is vague, and you can't quantify that. And when you factor that into Caleb Williams' projection, I can see why he would be number 3. And also, this relates to a bigger picture when you zoom out. Why the Bears ignored the defensive pass rush this offseason and maybe the defensive line in general, that's a question that we're talking about all offseason long. But if Caleb Williams is the third best quarterback in the NFL next year, it won't matter as much.
Absolutely. I think seeing Caleb Williams as the first player in his draft class on that list as you go down the list is a really good sign, obviously going number 1 overall. Seeing Drake May there, guys, at number 8 does surprise me when you talk about momentum, who's somebody who has had some issues staying on the field, but production and all of those things. He was in the MVP conversation last year. That's somebody that I would like to see probably a little bit higher. Joe Burrow there at number 6. I mean, it's funny to look at this when you think Caleb Williams is at number 3, followed by Justin Herbert and Matthew Stafford.
Well, if I were saying guys who I would want, I think that Burrow would be up there. But the fact that durability is factored in prevents you from putting him too high. Same with Lamar Jackson. So I think those two guys, they have earned the respect and accomplished much more. But can they be there every Sunday?
And it's the fact that he's so young. This is his second year in the system. Quarterbacks get so much better their second year in the system. You're not going into OTAs and training camp trying to learn the offense, trying to get the motions right, trying to get out the huddle. We were out there last year for training camp. How many times did Ben get after Caleb, get back in the huddle, and then break the snap and get to the line of scrimmage? Caleb is now going to be progressing on to college level algebra instead of basic math.
I love the word momentum. You talked about it being vague. I don't think there is a quarterback in the National Football League that ended last season with more momentum than Caleb Williams. So that's something we will certainly be keeping our eye on here in Chicago. Moving on to our third down of this opening drive. Last week we spent some time talking about potential second season leaps for tight end Colston Loveland and wide receiver Luther Burden III. Let's take a minute to discuss Chicago's second-year running back, Kyle Monangai. The Bears' 7th round pick had a very impressive rookie season and made for a formidable 1-2 punch to go with Chicago's star running back, DeAndre Swift. What kind of leap do you guys think Kyle Monangai is going to take in year 2? I find it fascinating. There isn't a conversation right now in Chicago about the Bears needing help in the running back room because of Kyle Monangai's rookie season.
It's a great point, and I think that's what we focused on last year. We were looking at the free agent running backs available and who should they sign because you didn't trust Monangai, but you do trust him now. And I think because of that, I don't think they need to adjust greatly the disparity or the distribution of carries or anything like that. If you get similar type production from both guys, you will be happy with your running back room, and you should be happy with your running game.
Yeah, Swift gives you juice. Monangai gives you bruises. I was looking at next-gen stats. He spends the fifth least amount of time behind the line of scrimmage. He is downhill. He's hitting the hole. I think that pairs perfectly with what DeAndre Swift brings you. He's more of a zone guy. He's a guy that wants to read it, wants to see it, and Monangai's going to just go. You want that. You want that because defenses are going to have to prepare for two different styles of running.
And didn't the Bears answer this question during the draft? Because they went out and they got a guy who we could say is a gadget guy, Xavier Thomas, who might be lining up in the backfield, might be lining up in the slot, might be lining up at wide receiver. But they didn't get a running back. They didn't get a guy who's coming from a big program, who's going to get the ball, who got the ball 20 times a game in college, because they trust Kyle Monangai to take that next step.
And here's a big thing about Kyle Monangai. In college, he didn't have a single fumble. In the NFL last year, didn't have a single fumble. 879 straight runs without fumbling the football. That matters to coaches. You are secure. You have the ball. Okay, we're not jinxing him. He knows how to hold the ball. He's got a nice grip.
Absolutely. Also, guys, don't forget, there's a new running back coach. Obviously, Eric Bieniemy did a great job with those two running backs last year. Eric Studesville, I cannot wait to see what he does with that room. Most recently, coaching someone named Devon Achane. You heard of him? Yeah, pretty good running back. Let's go to our fourth down of this opening drive. A few months of uncertainty, I think is fair to say, but Aaron Rodgers is coming back. for a 22nd NFL season. The 42-year-old quarterback has signed a one-year contract worth up to $25 million, reuniting with head coach Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh. Rodgers is coming off a season in which he led then Mike Tomlin's Steelers to a 10-7 record and AFC North division title. Your reaction to Aaron Rodgers back in the black and yellow?
I'm always amused at how much this triggers people in Chicago. I understand it, though, because if you look at Aaron Rodgers, what he says instead of how he plays, you can roll your eyes and think, oh my gosh, make your mind up already. But as a football player, I think he's earned the right to wait as long as he wants. He had a very productive year last year. Last season, he had 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 3,300 yards. He completed 2/3 of his passes. If he does that again, Clay, they may top out at 9 or 10 victories. They won the division. He gives them a competent quarterback to get the ball into the playmaker's hands. He knows what he's doing, even at 42. Protecting him, he can help with that because he knows where the protection is. He knows where the rush is coming from and how to get rid of the football fast.
Yeah, the league is just more interesting when Aaron Rodgers is in it. You can love him, you can hate him, you can roll your eyes at the antics and everything, but it's more interesting. You're going to watch and you want to see how he does, especially coming back with Mike McCarthy, a guy who he won the Super Bowl with. They beat me when I was with the Philadelphia Eagles on the way to that Super Bowl in the playoffs. Still not happy about that. But I think he's got some new weapons. Michael Pittman Jr., Jeremy Bernard in the draft. They've got Jonnu Smith. They've got some more weapons around him. They drafted Max Iannaccio at left tackle, so he might have a really solid year. I'm not saying he's going to beat the Bengals, the Ravens, but they will be in that playoff contention mode.
We will not have to have the debate this year about the Bears. Do we want Aaron Rodgers to play when the Bears play the Steelers because they're not on the schedule
That was kind
this
of fun,
year
though.
until they play in the Super Bowl?
Oh,
okay, Ruthie.
wow.
Okay.